Hi, this is Kimberly. Before we get to the next anxiously awaited edition, what would you say to Chris Watts? Of course, I am expected to mention the story that ran recently in the yellow journalism rag, OK Magazine. You won't see these types of stories in other more respected news sources, as they are based upon sensationalism and crude exaggeration. They use eye-catching headlines for increased sales, just as YouTubers use clickbait for video titles. While many feel like it's a misleading preview, if you pay close enough attention, the title is most of the time technically true. Just like no one can make you feel a certain way. No one forces you to click on a video or a news story or even look at a shocking picture. And while the thing you clicked on may have you provoked or triggered, it is illogical and unreasonable to demand that others should or not do things because it elicits negative emotions or reactions in you. Shanann was mean and bossy. Tammy provoked me. It's not Shanann's fault you're a weenie. One can, however, make rules and shit. You are in control of your personal boundaries. You teach people how to treat you. We all know at least one person where or who you just do not go there. You don't want to risk pissing them off. How do you know? Why, from your history with that person. So what is it about this person? They've set boundaries. You pick up on that. They make damn sure you pick up on it. Or person doesn't know how to set boundaries, or they're too chicken shit. Does that sound like anybody? So what does this mean? It means you set limits, and then you let others know how you're going to behave towards them. It'll let other people know how to behave towards you because they know, like, you're going to flip the fuck out or something if they pass those limits. A high school teacher that even the most shy and awkward child can walk all over. They never learned how to make one of those imaginary lines and dare people to cross it. Don't cross the line. You're going to see me flip. There's that one boss you've had, or calling in sick or being even 3 minutes late. It's just not an option. So you don't let it happen. So do you, and people will adjust. But around here, I am in charge. In the driver's seat and at the helm. It's my show and I'm in the saddle. Some people try and get in my saddle, but when they walk out of here with a chapped ass and then the door hits them on it as they trip over an imaginary foot in the aisle, as they try to maintain that last bit of dignity as they ungracefully exit with their marching orders. I hope it makes sense what I'm trying to say. For something that belongs to another person, such as a news story or a video or a post on Facebook or something, even though it belongs to them and they are in charge of it, just because it elicits negative emotions or a trigger or a reaction in you, doesn't mean that that part of you belongs to them. They don't fucking want it. I don't doubt in the least that the incident report about Fuckface McGee and his new pal is real. Quite the contrary. Yeah, it's real. But what we don't know is, does it mean what so many people are thinking it means? Just because they want to attach negative connotations to it? Was this simply gifts to his new friend, where they're supposedly writing a book together and they read scripture together and all of this other shit, and he's like, here, maybe Chris just wanted to buy an underwear gift for a friend after mommy put money in his canteen account. Unnecessary money. I mean, it's like gold in prison. I think he was simply helping his friend for whatever reason, couldn't get personal hygiene items from the commissary, and I understand Fruit of the Loom underwear is like designer, highly sought after. I guess you have your regular prison issued, and then you can buy genuine Fruit of the Loom, you know, Dick Tracy cars, SpongeBob, all that shit. Little stuff like that makes you happy when you're in the hole. It seems to me like he is back to trying to be that very nice boy that everyone gushed on and on about. This is all he has left. And I mean, I hate asshat as much as the next person. But you gotta think, they are in Wisconsin. I think Waupun is very near Green Bay. Those winters are brutal. Think of your skin. And, and if he wants a boyfriend, then so be it. The heart wants what the heart wants. My heart wants him tied down to the electric chair with a wet sponge on top of his head. Just another supplementary item before we finally start on the comments. One thing that I want to make clear is stop fucking telling me how to do my channel. Just go on your merry fucking way if you don't like it. Fuck out of here. I don't care. Go find a channel you do like. If I sit there and adjust it for you, then everybody else is going to be pissed off, including me, because it's not what I want. So no, quit telling me. You're not even asking me. You're telling me. Stop. Well, you can't do it anymore anyway unless you make a new account because you're blocked. Just automatic block when you start trying to tell me what to do. No. And imagine me standing there with my hands on my hip, all defiant and shit. The comments begin now. Much love. Would only ask him if I can rip off his head and roll it down the hall. I'm just visualizing that, and it's funny. Oh my God. Stop. Okay, let me read this again. Would only ask him if I can rip off his head and roll it down the hall. Maybe stuff it in an oil tank or bury it in a shallow grave. Yeah. He's so fucking lame, it's pathetic. He's pathetic. At least real badass killers actually were smart about it until they weren't. CW is just a lame brain who needs shot or gangbanged to death with that song on the loop playing, My Daddy is a Hero. Amen, brother or sister. Inclination on lockdown from Thursday. Your channel is VIP to me. Oh, haha, Kimberley. Much love and peace to you and all your listeners. Thank you so much. And wow, I wonder if we're going to be on lockdown again as we get further into the winter. I'm kind of half expecting it. Thank you for that, though. That was very kind. And please, if you haven't already done so, just go to my videos and sort them and play them oldest to newest. And I would like to formally apologize about my old videos. I was a nervous wreck and stuff and shy and talked funny. I still talk funny, but anyway, back to the insults. I don't know how Tammy could sit there and not rag him. Still loving your channel, Kimberly. Thank you. Yeah, Tammy's a beast. I like her. Very thorough. Then we have a couple of commenters here where one seemed to have gone off on the other one a little bit, and they worked it out like mature adults, and I'm so glad to see that. That's very good. Apparently, one commenter took the other commenters the wrong way, and she apologized, or the commenter apologized and said, I apologize. No disrespect. I can't hear Chris Watt's name without becoming disgusted. I've also seen so many videos and comments defending this piece of shit. I misunderstood you and truly do apologize. No hard feelings, I hope. That was very gracious. Thank you. I much prefer that to having to step in and delete comments. I really tried to not delete or hide people. See, someone said the other day about that I just go around hiding people if they don't agree with me. That is very untrue. The only reason I hide someone is if you are an overboard asshole to me or to someone in the comments. You can be an overboard asshole to murderers. I don't care about that. In fact, I encourage it. You can say that you think they didn't do it. That's fine. I'm not going to delete or hide anybody for that, for their opinion. No, it's how you present your opinion. And if you whine too much, that can get you hidden too. Sorry. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I'll just delete your comment and sometimes I'll hide it. But there's some people that think that I do that quite frequently, and I honestly don't. Anyway, back to the comments. That's what you came here for. Kimberley, I can imagine that enough time has gone by now that he could be at the point where he's realizing the true scale of what he's done for nothing more than a fuck in the hay. I think he's starting to come to that realization. Not that I've talked to him or anything, just from reports that come out. But yeah, that sounds rather vague. Kind of like that research shows bullshit that Cluster Copycat Cato used to do in her book. That's a good comment. I'm going to read it from the beginning. I can imagine that enough time has gone by now that he could be at the point where he's realizing the true scale of what he's done for nothing more than a fuck in the hay. Yeah, right. Right about now, he's realizing his thing for NK is no longer intense and has fizzled out, and recognizing that has got to be mental hell. I hope so. So basically, the reality is he knows he's committed the most vile and selfish acts ever. He threw his life and his entire family away for a common snatch frenzy, nothing more. Ew. Surely that realization is a bit of torture for that dork dick SOB, son of a bitch. If not torturous for the loss of his family, because he's such a devoid bastard, then at least a bit of torture for him on those long, cold Wisconsin nights for his loser-ass situation he's now in for the rest of his life. Yep, you made your bed. A truly dangerous idiot. That one, for nobody could have seen that brewing in his brain because he's a rare, twisted, smiling, creepy-ass tard. For damn sure. And he has a little empty peanut brain. There's a dried up, rotten peanut that just rolls around in there. It's just air and nothingness. He should face it full on. He's just a freckless fuck in more ways than one. On a better note, I love your rants, Kimberly. Thank you. You're a therapeutic Southern gal, pro-cusser, and a funny one at that. Thank you. That's very nice. The other thing is, on one hand, see, this is just the torment that I go through. And no, I'm not obsessed. But what I meant by that is he coming to that realization? I would like to think so. However, there's also some mild evidence that he is going to appeal and go back to his original story. I don't know if he's going to say Shanann did it again, or if he's just going to say, I didn't do it. This story develops minute by minute, especially since this Netflix documentary came out. So we'll see. Thank you for your comment, though. That was very nice. I have really intelligent, thought-provoking people that come to my channel. I don't think most of you are subscribers because that's what the analytics tell me. I don't know, but that's not important. Just, I like the people that come here. Sometimes when something will come out, you know, a movie or a documentary, we'll get a few kind of off-the-wall people. But most of them are like, wow, I want to know more, which is why, of course, they come to seek out this information. Or some seek it out to tell me that I should stop doing these videos. No, stop saying that. It's not going to happen. And I'm not going to run my channel the way you suggest that I do. So I need to make a suggestion. But oh yeah, it's the fuck it file. I do have one. Next comment. Did Nikki really have nothing to do with it? That's a good question. I wish he would answer and have a truthful answer. Did Nikki really have nothing to do with it? No, I think she had a big part of the murders. She helped. They're both pieces of shit. Oh, I see what you're saying. Did Nikki really have nothing to do with it? You know, my stance has been, for the most part, that I have to trust law enforcement, because if they can't be trusted, stuff like that drives me insane. And it's like, what is your point in existing if you're not going to do your job? To me, I guess I'm a black and white type of person. My old channel was called Black and White TV because one of my bosses told me one time that I was very black and white, and I said, I know, right? Thanks. And he's like, that's not a compliment. You're too strict. I said, well, there's only two ways to do shit, the right way and the wrong way. Do you want me to follow procedure or not? This is what procedure says. Because I didn't care who I called out. Managers, supervisors. Anyway, And that's when I was a lower level. And then when I got into management, I made people cry. I couldn't take it after a while. So I was like, bye, y'all. I'm done. Y'all are too gray. I'm too black and white. Actually, the real reason was I felt like shit all the time. Anyway, sorry about this. Next comment. This person very patiently has waited for me to read this. It was 3 months ago. Low life, worthless, good for nothing, meat suit reptilian. Thank you. I'm Kimberley and I approve that comment. Next one. Chris Inclination Watts, the useless brain-dead lobotomy patient, America's biggest douchebag. He wore a fucking t-shirt, dirty shorts, and fugly between-the-toe flip-flop sandals. Ooh, I know. On the few news channels he was on. I know. You would have thought he would have dressed respectfully since his family was quote-unquote missing. I'm glad Swats CWATZ showed his true colors with 4 S's. Yeah. And by true colors, I mean I'm glad I can see through his phony pussy and whipped persona. He had no balls. He was dominated by women, dumb women at that. Totally emasculated. Chris Rots. Chris Inclination Watts. Thank you for your very thought-filled comment. Let me take a screenshot of that. And I beg to differ. Shanann didn't fit into that group, you said. He was dominated by her, no doubt. She had to take charge. He was a weenie. Somebody had to be the grown-up. Dispute that. She was a very dominant person, but every relationship has that, the to and fro, the yin and yang, the talker, which is me, and the quiet person, which is my husband. I know I get on his nerves. I apologize constantly. Anyway, I'm loving these comments. Y'all are good. Next comment. You didn't fool anyone except your mother. Manipulative, ugly piece of shit. Yeah, a dickless, ballless, brainless, soulless, retarded piece of cunt shit. All ass eating, God, all ass eating, ball licking, fuckboy who's better watch his back. Now I promised I would read every comment just as is. Thank you for that. I even said a word that I don't like to say, but I did it to honor you and your comment. Thank you for that. I hope you guys realize how much I do appreciate y'all. Oh goodness, I'm going to have to translate this one. It's in Russian. Hold on just a second. Freak. It translates to freak. Thank you. Take a picture of that. I wonder, I need to check into how I do subtitles. Or not subtitles, but closed captioning for other languages. I do need to investigate that. If someone knows off the top of your head, you could just leave it in the comment. You want, or something. God almighty, Kim, did you really ask somebody to leave instructions in the comments or something instead of looking it up for yourself or something? Yes, Paparani, I did. I'll do it myself. I would ask Chris if Nikki was being serious when she did those fake creepy giggles. Oh God, I know. I can't listen to those anymore. Did he really think those were cute? He had little girls who could authentically giggle in a cute way. He didn't need a 30-year-old woman to force out giggles in his voicemails. I think they were doing a nasty role-playing thing. You know, the Catholic school girl who's all naughty and vulgar. I would ask him why he drank a Thrive Shake as they were searching his house for his wife he just murdered, who sold Thrive. Was that another F.U. to Shanann? If he was taking his anger out on everyone that morning, why aren't all of his co-workers dead? Nikki made him think he had such an unfair marriage, where he wasn't acknowledged. Yet he said he didn't know he was unhappy until Nikki told him. The laid-back kind gearhead wasn't able to develop to his full potential because of his roles as a husband and a father. You could hear the smart-ass tone in her voice when NK said she told him to go be with his kids. Yeah. Did he plead guilty so they'd stop searching for the truth? I'd have way more, but the beginning of this vid was amazing. Thank you. And if you have way more, bring it, girl. I'll read it. I will get caught up eventually one day. In the meanwhile, we'll just keep going and pissing off people. Why are you saying mean shit? You're just putting negativity out there. Hey, he brought it first. We're evening shit out. We're allowed to do that. Next comment. He has absolutely no remorse. How can you kill your entire family, then just go into work and act completely normal? I couldn't act normal if I killed a complete stranger, let alone my wife and 2 kids. Exactly. We're not like him, thank goodness. The irony is, he killed what most men would kill for: a beautiful wife and kids, a nice home, good job, with no doubt good money. He had everything, the American dream, as they say, and he just disposed of them like they were rubbish. I know. Beautiful wife, very stunning, very articulate. It is another clue that he's lying about the location of the children's murders. If you listen to the audio of him recounting his new version to police, February 2019, he gets muddled when he comes to the fabricated parts. Any language analyst will tell you this is typical of a liar. So his story about smothering both girls in their beds and them both recovering from that attack to be taken alive to Survey and killed there later was total nonsense. He invented that particular tale for a specific purpose, to explain away the forensic and cadaver dog evidence that the children did not in fact survive that smothering, but died in their beds and were taken from the house dead. The autopsy confirms it as death by smothering. Problem is, when death comes, then the angel of death is near to take your soul, or avoiding that there is nothing in the world to stop, or avoiding that as death is appointed. Shame her death was murder and a terrible way to die. From Evil Chris. Next comment. What haunts me is Bella singing My Daddy is a Hero. Heartbreaking. She looked like such a sweet angel when she was singing it, and she was feeling bashful. Shanann was great at her job, and she was sincere in her endorsement of Thrive. You only had to look at her. She was the picture of health, with beautiful skin and a great figure. She was a compelling advertisement for what she was selling. And my God, that girl worked hard to put food on the table and designer labels on her ungrateful husband's back. Chris Watts never loved or valued Shanann for the amazing woman, wife, and mother she was. He just used her for all he could get, and when he decided he had taken all he wanted from her, he took her life and the lives of the babies she adored. Prison is too good for that worthless waste of skin. I know. What an inferior, exasperating, annoying, simple, unimpressive, tired, dusty piece of shit. Hope he farts tonight and shits his pants. In his brand new Thomas the Train underwear. Fruit of the Loom. Someone responded, it kills me how much she seemed to enjoy her job and her life in general. Another comment, she was living her best life. Next comment, couldn't have said it better. Another one, I love my products and I love that she taught me so much. Now Nicole is teaching me even more. My health has not been better. You know, Shanann was very persuasive in her videos. I think a lot of people signed up after watching her videos. If not to sell, just to try the product. I was like tempted. Maybe I should try it, but I don't think my doctor would approve. And it seems like there's a lot of caffeine in those. And I don't do well with caffeine. Even though I drink a lot of coffee, I don't. I drink a lot of decaf just because, yeah, I've had some really bad experiences when I've had an overload of caffeine. Ew. Yeah, caffeine. But back to the comments. criminal charges. Can you please elaborate? Because that is not true. Sorry, I don't understand that. It appears they were replying to another comment, but instead of hitting reply, they just did a new comment. That's what it seems to be. And be that as it may, I would like to receive credit for reading the comment. Much obliged. Someone else said, Cindy was truly vile, and knowing how her son turned out, we see the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I think it's a blessing that Shanann judged others by her own high standards, and so had no clue just how malevolent and evil her mother-in-law really was. I myself have been blessed with the best mother-in-law in the world. Just wanted to throw that out there. Just as she had no idea her husband was capable of plotting and carrying out the murders of her and her children. Shanann was an innocent, beautiful spirit in a wicked world. She and her babies are now safe in paradise, a place where she will never ever be joined by her tormentors. Chris, Cindy, and Ronnie Watts are headed to an extremely different and far hotter location, and the sooner they get there, the better, in my opinion. Ooh, burn. Someone replied, you got that right. The woman is poison. She takes no responsibilities for her contamination of the situation for all those years and for raising a son who ended up doing what he did. She cannot bring herself to say one good thing about Shanann, even though to most of us it's clear Shanann had many great qualities. She picks faults with everything, and including her parenting. It's none of Cindy's business how Shanann was raising her children or her place to compare Shanann to her own daughter. You can actually see the years of mental and emotional abuse that was inflicted on Shanann by Cindy. Another comment, excellent, sure appreciate you till the end. And then they did a timestamp, Chris Watts, you are a blank. Perhaps that's what they wanted to say. That's cute. They didn't want to say it out loud. I saw the angel, beautiful. Aw, thanks. Kimberley, no one can rip CW like you do, but if I could say one thing to him, and you can, I wish he could trade places with his family. That he deserves exactly what he gave them, crude oil and all. Monster. Agree 1000%. I do. Yeah. And someone said, hello everyone, been looking forward to this all day. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me of the comments. That's right, he is not their hero. Another comment, I don't think Chris, who is so concerned with how he is perceived, would like about the girls being brought to the truck alive. I think that's what say would lie about the girls being brought to the truck alive. That fate is actually more horrifying than them having died in the home. I know. He says they were, quote, blue and stuff in their beds. End quote. That wouldn't have been the case even if they were murdered that way. That isn't how that works. Someone else said, please excuse me for sounding graphic here, but since Cece wore a diaper, no urine would likely have been found in her bed. But wouldn't urine from Bella's be found on the sheets after that monster suffocated her? Hi Kimberly, I really liked and appreciated this video. I feel as though I've taken away many different things to yet again contemplate. I wish I took your instructions the right way. I truly do have ADD, and to be truthful, I've just recently separated after 24 years. I'm sorry to hear that. And the last 2 months have been very difficult, hurtful, and a learning experience. I laughed, I cried, I've had many emotions. I wasn't going to put this out there, but hell, it's the truth. Thanks again for what you do. I've always loved your channel. Thank you, sweetie. You know that by now. Peace, love, and light to you and what you do for all of us, especially me. Thank you. That is so very sweet. And I am sorry that you have separated. That's got to be difficult. After being married 24 years, I mean, what a shock to your system. I can't even imagine. I've never been separated from my husband. I met him when I was 17 years old, and 40 years later, here we are still. Someone replied, I truly hope you feel better soon, and you will one day. You'll wake up and realize how much better and better off you are. I agree. To quote the late great Frank Sinatra, the best is yet to come. Make it your mantra. Nice, yeah. I like that. I live in the UK. The houses are gorgeous in America, and it makes me rethink about buying worldly goods when life is short and you don't know when you will disappear. Die. I know. I really want to declutter and minimize. It's been a lifelong struggle. Not that I have a lot of clutter, because I don't. I mean, if you compare it to some people, that's a whole nother video. Let's forget I even brought that up. CW, you feel that God has plans for you. Big plans. Outside of these bars and walls, God had, but he saw what you did with his gift of free will. You went and fucked all that up. Now he needs to keep tabs on you. And what better place than purgatory? What is purgatory, you ask? The comment says, what is purgatory? Purgatory is the state of those who die in God's friendship, assured of their eternal salvation, but still have the need of purification to enter into the happiness of his heaven. Thank you, that was a nice comment. Next comment, I wish they would play My Daddy is a Hero over and over in his cell. My heart goes out to the victims of this horrible, evil act. Yes. Next comment. I love this damn channel. Thank you. I love you. Glad to have you here. Nothing I say would ever have made a difference for satisfaction, but if I could just have 5 minutes alone with him. Actually, this Watts character, so-called man, husband, and father, doesn't deserve to answer any of my questions or get any more chances to insult my intelligence, trying to read between the lines. But the advice I would brand him would be, a true man of God hath no secrets, and to be revealed by and within the Holy Spirit. One must have complete revelation of his truth. And then they go on to say that means the whole truth and all participants involved. I have nothing to say to him. He will soon become a shell of his former pathetic self. Life in prison is far worse than death, and by the time he dies, he will be barely human and will no longer be Chris Watts. That's right. And we're going to end on that comment. I think that's plenty for today. And I have another video coming up soon, another one, Courtney Bell finishing up her interview, and it is quite the entertaining video. I mean, just listening to her talk, nothing I did, except for subtitles and chop out the long pauses and shit. But that will be coming to you very soon. I almost have it finished. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and please come back. Much love and peace. Thank you for listening.
Also breaking overnight, the husband of a pregnant Colorado woman confesses to murdering her and his 2 daughters. It's a story we've been following closely now for days.
Yeah, authorities will provide an update later this morning, but they say that Chris Watts is now in custody at the Weld County Jail awaiting charges.
As Andrew Spencer reports, his arrest comes less than 24 hours after he went on national television to plead for his family's safe return.
A handful of stuffed animals, a candle, and a small cross planted outside the home of Shannon Watts and her 2 daughters early this morning, all 3 of them missing since Monday. Even as investigators searched for them earlier this week, Shannon's husband was pleading for their safe return. Investigators returned to the family home last night and searched the house. Overnight, the Frederick Police Department issued a release saying Chris Watts had been arrested in connection with the case, just days after he said this.
I just want them back. I just want them to come back. And if they're not safe right now, that's what's tearing me apart. Because if they are safe, they're coming back. But if they're not, this has got to stop. Like, somebody has to come forward.